Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Hello, and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema on this great Sunday. I hope everybody had a great weekend and plan to have a productive weekday. I don't know. Anywho, we have on our panelists today, we're talking about on and off relationships. I am going to allow them to introduce themselves, and then we'll get started. We'll start with you, Laviesha, and tell us what it is that you do.
I tell part of what I do. My name is Laviesha Frazier, and I'm owner of Lavish Creations and Consultant, event planning, wedding director, pretty much any and everything that you can almost think about in event planning and wedding decor, business decor, any type of decor that you need. And my other job, we're going to keep that private.
All right. We're not going to speak on it.
Not going to speak on it.
Authur.
I'm Authur Tyler, a.k.a. Net Official, songwriter, producer, partner in the company, Diamond in the Rough, Get Right Entertainment, and publicity.
I'm Angelia Simpson. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm a life coach.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you all for coming on. Again, we're talking about on and off relationships. I'll go ahead and get this party started. I feel like, yeah, you can go back once, maybe even twice, but I think, and this is just my opinion, after 3, 4, 5, I mean, somebody's not changing the relationship, so I just don't think it's going to work. And I feel like that's just a null and void situation. That's just my opinion. How y'all feel about on and off relationships? Feel free to start, whoever.
I'll start. Of course, I have a whole lot to say. I feel like the number of times doesn't matter. It's like if you've been with this person over 5 years, a decade, 15, so forth, and it's like you still are running into those same hurdles. You just still can't get on the same page. You can't get on the same accord. Maybe it's best that you do part ways, while you can, because sometimes it can get really, really messy. And if one person changes for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then you're back to the same thing again. So definitely, it takes a lot of soul searching to kind of decide if that's something you want to do. And that's on both behalf. Right. Because if you're on and off, that means it's something going wrong with both of you. Not just one person, it's both of you involved.
So do you think an on and off relationship will eventually work out? There's counseling and all this stuff out there, resources.
Well, here's my thing. If you have exhausted your resources, you did counseling, you live separate, you've did everything from a professional counselor, even a pastor, or, just friends, online blogs, whatever, that you needed, self-help. If each person has done that or done that collectively and you still just can't see eye to eye, maybe you're just not for each other. Yeah. I mean, truth be told, people say there's many fish in the sea. There are. And I feel like sometimes people hold on to relationships because of the time or because of you're maybe married, you got marital assets because of children, businesses, it could be numerous of reasons. And I understand it, but deep inside you're miserable when you got to sneak and hide and manipulate. And, you know definitely that you're not in a happy situation. Right. And we only get one life. So we don't get a do-over. You only live once. So what's the purpose to kind of waste time when okay, you know what, I did all I can do, or you know what, I like who I am, I don't feel I need to change. Right. That's okay. Someone needs to cut the cord, and say, I think we're better off away from each other, whether friends or co-parent or whatever your relationship is. It's okay.
What do y'all think?
Well, I think a lot of times the reason why you're fighting so hard in the relationships that you're in is because you're not supposed to be in that relationship in the first place. Ooh. That relationship was not ordained by God. That's right. You get together for all the wrong reasons, and you're staying together for all the wrong reasons. So that's why it's so much back and forth. You're holding on to something that is in your mind, maybe not in their mind. So you're fighting, but you're fighting by yourself. So, and a lot of times people just don't want to feel pain. You'll deal with constant and consistent hurt, but you don't want to deal with the constant and consistent pain of just letting it go. And that's why you run back, because I'd rather just deal with this little hurt than deal with this little pain for a little while and just get myself over this. So you keep going back to the same thing.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I agree. That that kind of segue into what I was gonna say. I think it comes down to one of two things on both ends. One person is too comfortable. One person is comfortable, and the other person don't know their worth. You understand? So it's like, and it could be on either side. But I think sometimes a lot of people, they are afraid to keep going. They're afraid to, because you might, when you with someone for a while, you get comfortable, and it's a lot of things. Like she said, sometimes people think that I'm good. I don't have to change.
Right.
I don't want to change nothing. But this person to tolerate things. When you leave that person, nobody else is going to tolerate it. And that. You can make yourself believe what you want, but nobody else is going to tolerate it. So some people just get comfortable, like, well, I'll leave and I can come back. And the other person don't know their worth because they allow them to keep leaving and coming back. And
they don't want to see it with nobody else. Jealousy.
Yeah.
Oh,
that too.
That could be. That's
I do want to add something to what Laviesha said about the hurt. They rather deal with the little hurt every so often than the pain. Well, when do you heal?
Sometimes you never heal. Some people never heal. First, you got to heal yourself instead of trying to heal other people. Right now, I'm speaking for myself. I'm single as a dollar bill, quarter, nickel, dime. I'm single. But guess what? I'm at peace.
That's right.
I'm not getting the what you're doing text or anything. But I'm at peace because I know where I have been and I know what I have been through. And to be in a place where you can't sleep, you can't eat, you're just constantly aggravated. I was in a relationship and I thought I was doing my little thing, And after I got out of that relationship, I saw somebody and they said, I don't know what you let go, but whatever it was, please let it stay going. So all that time that I was in my relationship fighting, I was killing myself. Wow. And once I found my inner peace, nothing can
interrupt that.
Listen, let me tell you something.
It feels great. If somebody haven't experienced that, they're missing a lot. If you haven't experienced inner peace, because that is something we all need.
Yeah.
Like just to go to bed and not have to worry about another grown person, what they're doing, if they're dead, if they're in jail, if they're in the hospital, you don't have to worry about that stuff. My kids are home, safe, And
a lot of times we think we're doing it for the kids, but kids realize what's going on. So you really hurting your kids more than you helping your kids. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, which I did it too. It was like, I'm just staying for my kids. And my kids looking at me like, shh, girl, you better go on about your business.
Like, why are you doing that to yourself?
I agree. When the kids get a certain age, yes, that's definitely that stand together for the kids is an excuse once the kids reach a certain age.
So wait a minute, let me stop you real quick. You said once they reach a certain age. Feel like they need to, the two-parent household still need to stay if they're babies, toddlers?
Yes, because and I'm gonna tell you my reason for
Please
that.
Do.
Because I feel like honestly, I feel like because let's keep it real. When a child is 3, 4, 5 years old, that's the time a child needs both parents. And at that point, 4 or 5, a child don't care about your happiness. All that child knows, I'm hungry, I got fed, I got my toy to play with, I got TV. That's y'all adult business. That has nothing to do with the child. The reason a lot of children grow up dysfunctional is because a lot of adults put children in adult business. When we were coming up, it was like, what mama and daddy got going on is what mama and daddy got going on. You stay in the child's place. You see, nowadays, it's new thinking. So we feel like the child is our friend. You know what I mean? It's not a child anymore, it's our friend. So now we're telling our children everything and exposing them to everything. And that's why they grow up confused. Because at a certain point, children see the mistakes that we make as parents. And at a certain point, it's like, okay, I'm growing into an adult and I really want to ask mom or dad. But when I look at their life and I've been exposed to so much early, they don't really know what they're doing. So now I'm confused. You know what I'm saying?
They're confused when they start remembering things, though. When we stayed in this toxic relationship when they were 4, 5, 6.
But that's what I'm saying. They can only remember what they know, what they see. If you're not exposing, like when two people are having a dispute or argument, if that child is in the room or that child is around, that's where the adult in you comes out. Like you don't do that in front of the children. You don't.
Laviesha want to say something.
But it's not always about what they witness.
Mhm.
It's the energy that you're giving off.
Absolutely.
Because it's a such thing as a transfer of energy. So if I'm down and out and I'm depressed, even though I'm still trying to be a mother, my kids can feel my pain. My kids can feel that something is off. And me staying in a relationship, even though they're young, they still seeing the wrong thing because they're not seeing how to love a person and how a relationship is supposed to be, which is why we're in the state that we're in where nobody want to be in a relationship. So we got to look at all of that. So when you think you're helping, you actually hurting. And if you have healthy co-parenting, then they still seeing a healthy relationship.
I agree, but it's a difference between marriage and relationship. Like when you're in marriage, you have a duty now.
But
once you're married, but when
again,
you're in a relationship, that's a different story. Like
Well,
we're getting to know each
Well,
other.
Arthur, we ain't gonna try to jump on you all at once.
Do your thing.
But whether you're in a relationship or marriage, you have children. Because that's why I want to go back to the children. So the children are sponges. They imitate just what they see.
I agree.
So they hear mommy and daddy going back and forth. They don't know what's going on. They're going to come in the room. They're 3 years old. You can't say stay in a child's place. This is this is a baby. So pretty much the mom or the dad was already watching it. So that child is going to be right there witnessing that.
No, but my point is, like she said, the energy.
Transfer.
What energy? What if this is a family? What is your energy in your family?
Let's be realistic here. Let's be real.
What is the energy?
Let's be
Are we
realistic.
trying to argue as but once you see the child, see, like she mentioned God. This is what I'm saying. Like when a child, we're arguing. Once a child enters the room,
it's gonna cease. We're just happy now.
No, not cease. We're just happy, but you don't continue the argument in front of the child. Like you don't want, because that
You
child
may
is a
not.
sponge.
You
That
may
child is soaking it
not.
up.
But it's like, okay, I'm coming.
You can feel it.
You know,
You can feel it.
I'm coming. Give mom a minute. You know, like I'm coming. They can
Yeah.
feel like, oh, all I want is some cereal.
And in my
Right.
opinion,
You know what I'm saying?
not just from a man or a woman standpoint, I feel like that's a self check right there.
That's true.
Because it's like once
but
that
we
child,
gotta
if a child walks
we
in
gotta
the
be
room,
realistic here.
if a child walks in the room and you're heated and you're at on 10 and the child walks in the room, if that energy, and if you're aware of this, that's a self check. You need to calm down. You need to get yourself together. You need to get your mind
You can
together.
be as calm as you want to, but it's
No, you're not as calm as you want.
because in my other profession, I have off days. And when I walk in the room, it's like, what's wrong? I don't even say anything, and I'm sitting here and I'm laughing and I'm smiling, but it's like, what's wrong? Because they can tell. So even if anybody out here in the audience, if I walk in, you're going to feel my energy. Like sometimes if I go out to a restaurant and I'm looking at somebody, I'm like, you having a good day? Because you can tell they're not having a good day. It's like even that they're like, hi, may I help you? You okay? You having a good day? And they'll just tell you like, no, because I'm having this and I'm having that. So it don't matter how much you try to put it off or whatever. Kids are smart and they notice these things. Again, it's that transfer energy, is that feeling. My child get on my nerve because she is me. And she is beyond her age. And so there's a lot of things that I thought that I was concealing from her that she knew and she know and she recognized. So I wasn't helping her. I was hurting her. And so being that now I notice that my child is beyond her age, I can have those conversations with my child.
I'm a big, me personally, I'm just a big proponent of family. Like I really believe I'm more, I guess if you want to put it traditional thinking, like family is the root of everything. Because I always say family make neighbors make neighborhoods, and neighborhoods make communities. And when we look at the state of our communities,
It's true.
and when a lot of our outcomes, when we do what we feel, the outcomes show us that that's not the thing to do. And like when you do your work in school, how you check your work to make sure it's right. Because look at our results. The way us doing what we feel, that's not working, because children are coming up, children reading on 4th grade level. You got so many young girls going through it. You got little boys going through it. Yeah, I mean, you got some adults that made it and can't read. I mean, there's so much going on. So, and a lot of that comes from family.
Sarah, hold on.
You say how many? I went back. I don't know if you say I went back or he came back, but either way, we end up back together at least about five times, because I've been married. It'll have been 16 years in March, and every time we separated, it was like 2 months at a time or so. So we'll end up back, and then eventually it's like, okay, the changes is made for like a month or so, and I'm not saying on his end or my end. It changed for like a month or so. We happy go lucky, and it goes right back. And it's like we back at the same thing to where it's like, you know what, I can't do the back and forth. So just from my experiences, I mean, yeah, everybody may deserve a chance here or there. I'm not doing the back and forth no more going forward. That's just my opinion.
Find that peace.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's a reason, real quick, that's a reason why you hear a lot of people saying now they're not going to tolerate a lot of things, you know, because we found that peace and we know what we're not going to tolerate, plain and simple. So it can be something minor to somebody else, and now they think, oh, Laviesha or Freeman's on his high horse, she can't accept this, and I won't, because this is my life, and that's just what it is.
Just, at some point in time, you got to get to a point where everybody got their faults, everybody got their problems. You just got to decide which person you're going to be able to.
Absolutely. I say that all the time.
Who do you feel like who do you feel like that person is worth the baggage? Which goes back to what I said at the beginning. The reason for the back and forth is because somebody is comfortable and somebody don't know their worth. Like, I'm gonna put.
I agree with that 100%.
I've been through a situation as a man. I've been through a situation where I dealt with a young lady, and
that's real.
We were together. Everything was cool. We separated. She got with a guy, and when they started having their problems, she came back. You know. And
did you accept her back?
Yes.
Okay.
And because I was young, I was coming up, I was still learning.
Which one were you, if you don't mind me asking, the not knowing the worth?
No, I didn't know my worth at the time.
Okay, that was
because I was growing. I was becoming valuable.
Got you.
See, as a man, we have to make ourselves something in the world. I was still becoming valuable. So I didn't really know my worth. So when she left and went to him, and she would come back, she would tell me all these things about him, and you know, we good for a few, and then all of a sudden don't hear from her, and then she's back to him, and it started chipping away at me as a man. I'm like, okay, am I not good enough? And then it got to a point where it's like I had to step back out of the situation. Like, you know what? And I start looking around me, and I start coming into my own, and it's like, okay, you don't know who I am. You're comfortable because you think that I'm going to keep tolerating.
Yeah.
You know,
well, she knew that for a little while.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. But things change. That everything don't stay. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we got this mentality where a lot of people think people don't change. People do change.
People do change.
But it's on you you have to be in your space to understand, is that person worth me sticking around?
Absolutely.
To you know, watch the development of the change? Or is that person not worth my time for?
Well, real quick, Marvin said you gotta grow. Absolutely, Marvin. Hey, Melvin, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hey, Christy Bus, thanks for tuning in. She says it's a great topic to discuss. Absolutely, that's something we definitely need. I appreciate you guys. Angela, you were going to say something.
Yes. So when you were talking about change, have anyone ever thought that maybe if a person changes, it may not be for you? Maybe you're not that person that they're changing for. Maybe you're helping them grow.
I'm gonna answer that. Honestly, that's my thing. Honestly, I don't care. I wouldn't want you to change for me. I want.
Well, I'm not really saying that. I'm saying is, like, we want maturity and growth. Maybe your relationship with that person may not be that relationship that's going to help them grow to see that they need to do something different, or for you. Exactly. You know, vice versa. So maybe the next one going forward, you done learned something from the last, and maybe now you that better man, and maybe that's that better woman.
Exactly.
So that's why
we let it go.
Yeah, that's
why you gotta let it go, because
Laviesha wanted to say something.
Let me say something a little deeper. It's not always you. It's not always you. Sometimes it's what they went through in life and what they carrying from when they grew up, or what you say, like what they saw mama and daddy go through. And a lot of us black folk don't believe in counseling, but a lot of us got problems. We got issues that we need to discuss, and that's how we get this I'm me mentality. This is me. This is what I saw my mama doing. This is what I saw my daddy doing. At some point in time, we got to start breaking these generational curses out and thinking for ourselves. So it ain't, and a lot of people right now walking around thinking I wasn't good enough. No, you were good enough. This person is messed up in the head from what they went through and the trauma that they dealing with, and they got mama problems, they got daddy problems, and they project those problems on you.
That's right.
And you don't even, it's not even you that they fighting. They fighting they past what they went through. And so you don't even understand you fighting a battle that ain't even yours.
Exactly, because you don't know your worth. If you know your worth, once you really truly know your worth, it's a lot of things you don't tolerate.
You don't tolerate.
You just don't even tolerate it. Like, I mean, I feel a certain way about certain things, and I have female friends that good, but it's certain things about them, and it's like we could never work because this is just, you do this and that's okay, but I don't tolerate that. So we can be cool.
We can be cool, but it's not going to
it's not going to happen.
Marsha said all relationships come with a compromise. Some people are not willing to grow or compromise in a relationship.
I agree, because a lot of people think, like she just said, we in our community, we think that we can fix ourselves. When you get pain and you go to the doctor, you don't fix. You go to the. That's why you go to the doctor.
Exactly.
We want to fix ourselves because we know where it hurts. We know just how much pressure to apply to this, and we want to fix what we feel is wrong.
Right.
When you go to the doctor's going to fix what's wrong. You know what I mean?
I got even a deeper scenario. So let's say, like you said, pain in your leg. So you're gonna go to your primary, then you're gonna go to a specialist, right? So what about if it's in your mind? See a counselor, see a psychiatrist, see a psychologist. You need to see someone that specializes in those problems in the mind. Because if you go to a specialist for your leg, you go to a specialist for your heart.
Then what's so bad about going for your mind?
What is so hard about saying, hey, I can sit down with a therapist, I can sit down with a counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist. It's 4 different sets of people that you can talk to.
Yes.
I love the way
See,
y'all
in our community,
love the way y'all
in our community, we tend to in our community, a lot of times we tend to use Jesus as the cop out. We want to talk to Jesus. Because see, Jesus ain't gonna tell you that you need to do this and you need to do that. You know what I mean? Like the Lord. We a lot of people do what they want to do. They do what they don't follow Jesus. They don't follow nothing about no command. They don't follow nothing. But then when they fall in the hard times, Jesus. Now it's Jesus. It's like it's that convenient thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, real quick. Sound like this about to get heated. Real quick. Chase Huggins said, change is a strong word. People grow. Grapes become raisins, but you can't make an apple an orange. If your person has to make a 180-degree change for you to be happy, go be happy with someone else, because you can't expect them to change.
But what if you don't see no fault in what you're doing?
And that's what I mean by, like she said, the counselor. If we said this a while ago, if 4 or 5 people telling you the same thing,
right? You better believe it.
And they don't even know each other. It's something about you.
That's right.
But we feel like we know what's best for us. We know, and sometimes we don't want to take the criticism.
Right.
We don't want to take that.
That's
pain,
a problem we have.
And sometimes, and this is another thing that's deep. Sometimes I really want to say this. A lot of people. Sometimes people can't see the change in another person when they ain't made a change.
When they ain't made a change themselves.
You know what I mean? So you could be doing everything right, but if they're not in a space to see that change, or they're not in it, then sometimes we gotta read that's just not the person.
It's a quote that says you will never be good enough for the person that's not ready for you. That's a true statement.
And that's
that's
fact.
true.
If they're not ready for you and who you are,
you'll never be good enough.
100%
So
facts.
why even change? Why not just cut your ties and say, maybe this person may not be for me. Maybe they're for someone else. Maybe someone else can meet them right where they are and accept them.
Let me tell you why. Because a lot of people feel like, oh, I've been with this person for 5 years, 8 years. I invested too much time. I done built him up. I'd be damned if he go to another woman and be a good man. And now you just stuck with a no good man.
Because you hoping and praying.
Man, nobody got time for that. I'm sorry.
And you got.
I'm gonna take my chance
about the potential.
Let him be good for another woman.
You praying about something you ain't even supposed to be in.
You ain't supposed to be in the first place.
So it's like you turning your wheels and you ain't going nowhere.
And you ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
Marsha said some people stuck on seeing a psychiatrist as being a taboo.
Meaning?
It is because, and again, in our communities, nobody can tell anybody anything. Who are you to tell me? That's how the mind state. Nobody
and real quick, you guys, we are at Brooklyn Restaurant and Lounge, 1575 Russell Street. Live audience. Y'all make sure y'all come out every Sunday. Doors open at 3 p.m. Show starts at 4. We would love to have you to chime in person.
Well, let me take it a step further because I'm a medical professional. A psychiatrist is a specialist for the mind, just like a cardiologist is a specialist for the heart and so forth. It's no different than any other organ. Your mind, your brain is an organ. They focus on the mind, so you're going to a specialist.
Yes,
I mean, so if you got problems with your leg, your heart, whatever, you're gonna see that specialist. But you know your I feel like everyone knows at some point when you think to yourself and say, what if it's me? What do I got going on with me? Like my thoughts ain't right. I don't know what to say, when to say it, my behavior, outbursts. You thinking that something's wrong, so go talk to someone that specializes in the mind.
I wish I could talk to someone who really does not believe in going to seek mental health. I mean, I want to know, like, what's the reason why? Because like y'all said, and that's a good analogy, you go for everything else, your leg hurt, your arm hurt, you know, you're getting rapid heartbeats or something. We go trust another human being to diagnose us, to give us these medications that we consuming in our body, but we can't trust them to talk to them about what's going on in our brains.
Because their mentality is, why am I going to go to somebody that I don't know? And they
but you're trusting them to help you with your heart.
See, this is the thing.
To do surgery on
it. That's their mentality. Because I have actually said to some people, I have said to people, look, why don't you go see counseling? I go. I went, I've been, I have issues. I know I have issues.
We accept
some of them. I'ma change. Some of them, that's just me. It is what it is. You're gonna love me or leave me.
Right.
But I'm just playing. But they just feel like they got problems, just like I got problems with understanding your psychiatrist got a psychiatrist.
That's right. Exactly.
And that's the problem. A lot of times people think that that self-checking is a hard thing. A lot of people do not want to do the self-check. They want to tell everybody else what their problem is. But when it comes to their issues, they feel like no one can talk to them. No one can tell them anything. And that goes back to the Jesus thing. Like, okay, well, Jesus knows what's best for me.
That's right.
I can tell you what's best for you, but Jesus knows what's best for me.
Well, if Jesus knew what was best for you, and Jesus had told you the same thing 5 times already, why you ain't listening to
but
Jesus?
That's the thing.
Maybe you might need to take it a little step further and go talk to that.
I agree. See, I'm all for mental health and going to speak to a psychiatrist. I think everybody in the Black community specifically could benefit, could sit down and talk to somebody, because we all been through our own hell in our own specific separate manner. But when we talk about dealing with each other, we have to really have some form of self-checking.
Right,
okay?
Absolutely.
If you feel like how you just said, sometimes you think, what if it is me? What if something? And you know why people don't want to go? Because of this 3rd and 4th and 5th place trophies. Nobody can lose anymore. If anything is wrong, no, no, that's okay. No, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
You know what I mean? Like our community, we give credit to the most trashiest things. Like the most wrong things. We look at it like, it's nothing wrong.
We're going to pause that real quick because it sounds like that's really getting good. Marsha said sometimes it is best to go to someone who you don't know or who don't know you. No bias, no preconceived judgment. Absolutely. OG Migraine Allen said most people want to talk to people that's going to say what they want to hear.
That's right.
Absolutely. Marsha said we do always pray. God gives us signs. He gives us signs, and we still make excuses.
That's right.
You're not gonna move until you get ready to move. The heartbeat, the mind might be ready, but the heart is not ready.
That's right.
Until you get that heart and mind to align, or you just got to get to a point where it's like, listen, this is not for me. I'm killing myself trying to stay in this.
Right.
I gotta go, because at the end of the day, if a person want to be with you, they're gonna do what they're supposed to do to be with you. And sometimes in a relationship, you just gotta know when to shut up. And when I mean by shut up, like sometimes, like if I'm expressing myself to you, you going on and on and on, and I'm fighting, I'm arguing back with you. You mad and you upset. I don't see your point, so I'm mad and I'm upset. But at some point, I gotta be like, you know what? Let me just listen to what he's saying.
Right.
It's something to what he's saying. So even if we don't agree, we can agree to disagree.
That's right.
And let's come to a resolve so we could just move past this. And that's what a lot of people don't do.
That's called communication.
And it's conflict resolution.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you just know. It's something that you're learning. Because I myself, I'm not ashamed to say I saw a therapist. And it was a great session. And they taught me how to set boundaries. They taught me about conflict resolution. They taught me about agreeing to disagree. They taught me about a lot of stuff and how to deal with my past. Because everyone got a story.
Everybody has a story.
That's
Greta Frazier Avery said even counselors seek counseling because they have to talk things out. And then with the job I used to do prior to, I consumed a lot of other people's energy. You know, I used to be their confidant and hearing it, and it was draining. I couldn't handle it. So I know as a psychiatrist or a counselor or a therapist or whatever, they have to spill it out on someone they confide themselves into, because it is a lot. They take on a lot. Yeah. Chase said a counselor may not be the best help for Black people in all cases. Mm-hmm. Mental health industry is like every other issue in America. Therapists are 90% white, but they can't identify with Black households and things that are normalized in our house. And when a doctor don't fully understand the patient, you can risk getting misdiagnosed. And before we respond to Chase Huggins, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Christy Buss, family member of the world champion Los Angeles Lakers. I'm excited to represent a brand new skincare line that I am CEO called Hedo. And Hedo is driven from the word hedonism, which is self-pleasure, self-love, self-care. And with the world champion mentality of what I've been through with my family and the Lakers, I want Hedo to be a world champion in your life, which we want Hedo to be your other significant other. And with that, we want you to have a relationship again with your skin in a way that you've never had. So come join us with this amazing line, Hedo.
Okay, we're back. Everyone, we're back. Thank you so much for that. So I'm gonna repeat what Chase said. A counselor may not be the best help for Black people in all cases. Mental health industry is like every other issue in America. Therapists are 90% white, but they can't identify with Black households and things that are normalized in our house. And when a doctor don't fully understand the patient, you can risk getting misdiagnosed.
Okay, well, I would like to respond to that. Well, when it comes down to seeking help, color should not matter, because you'll be surprised of how they can help you deal with your past hurts. A lot of times it's not about the people of color household. You're not going to a therapist because you got employment problems. You're not going there because you got financial problems. You're not going there because you got problems with your kid's mom or your kid's dad, or you got legal problems. That's not why you're going there. You're going there because you realize it's something within you. It is holding you back from being able to get that job, be a good parent, stay out of trouble, not have run-ins with the law. So you're not going there for them to help you with those things. You're going there to say, I don't know what is my problem. What's going on with me? What's going on with me? What is the roadblock from me being able to do these things in life? Because I know I have the potential. I want to do more. So what's a roadblock? But the way they start with therapy, they start with your past.
That's true. So it shouldn't be a color, right?
It doesn't matter.
It shouldn't be. And I think I understand what he's trying to say, but to answer that, I feel like a big issue is the aggression. You see, we are a real aggressive community, and a lot of times we cannot think we can, but a lot of times we cannot handle the truth. And when we find out the truth, we want to get violent. We want to hurt you. We want to, and that's why a lot of people don't tell us the truth, because we want to hurt you.
Well, let me ask you this, Authur. Remember I said about past. You're going to the therapist to ask, why are you aggressive? You may not ask that question, but you're going to find out, why do you have that? That is a characteristic of you. That is not normal. So as people of color, we should not accept that as normal. Exactly. Because we that's just, to me, that's unacceptable. Why do we have to be stereotyped as that type of people? We as people put ourselves
that's what I'm
into
saying.
that.
See, it's not a stereotype if it's true. See, the truth is the truth. Like, we don't, like you said, a lot of people don't want to sit down and just talk out their problems, because they're going to have to go back. They're going to have to go back and find out what caused them to be like this.
And it's okay.
And like you said, a lot of people, they won't be able to. We feel like, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking the Black community.
Right.
A lot of us, we feel like a lot of people aren't able to diagnose. They haven't been through a lot of the things we've been through.
Can I ask you a
But all of
question?
it,
Have you been to therapy?
Oh yes, I have.
Okay.
I
So you
said
get
I'm
it too.
all for
I got you.
mental therapy. Like my father died when I was 12 years old.
You went to
A
counseling.
week before Christmas. I mean, like I've been through a lot of things. I've been through so many funerals. I was 15, saw one of my close friends get shot in the head. I mean, I've seen a lot, so I've had to go through my therapy. Right. But again, I didn't go. It wasn't like I went to therapy blind. You know, I kind of had a grip on my own reality.
It's not always about a diagnosis. It's
Exactly.
about you actually finally coming to grips in reality with what you're going through and being able to talk about it and get it out. And that's why a lot of people in our Black community, we sick. We got high blood pressure.
That's
we got
right.
diabetes,
Stress.
stress, and everything that you're holding on to and you holding in your body. It ain't stress to kill you faster.
That's right.
And see,
any heart
and
attack.
to tie that all back into the topic, the back and forth thing, like you said, sometimes it's best to be quiet, because sometimes when a person is talking to you, they don't necessarily want your answer.
They just need to hear.
Like sometimes a person can be talking, and while they're talking, they figuring out what's going on while they're talking. You know what I mean? But everything don't require a response.
Absolutely.
But see, we feel like every time someone says something we disagree with, we go
You
on
have
the
to say
defense.
it. You don't.
We go on the defense, and that's the problem right there. When anyone tries to try to talk to us or tell us something is wrong, especially if they're not from our community, we jump on the defense. We're ready to defend, and we're ready to.
They got an excuse. You got a scapegoat.
Exactly.
You whatever you want to call it. You know.
Exactly.
You find a reason to why you don't want to accept this. And that's part of the problem. So you might need to see the therapist.
But you know what happens? You know what happens?
Find out why you in denial.
You know what happens when they run to the end of those problems, though? They have to find a safe place. And you know what the safe place is? That comfortable place, that comfortable guy or girl that you've been seeing. And you feel what I'm saying? You were seeing them, and sometimes it sounds real good. Like a lot of people don't want to hear this side of it, but it sounds real good. You get a lot of attention from sounding like you want to do the right thing.
Oh, of course.
You get a lot of attention from saying,
Well, they say fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I'm down and I need to be better. I need to see it. That sounds good, but some people don't want to put in the work.
And let me tell you something else.
People don't want to put in the work.
People feel like it's a sign of weakness or it's a battle. Like, I got him. You thought you had him. He might come. That might be another show.
No, we talk about everything on here. It goes all over.
Because with the back and forth thing, you see a lot of women over here talking about the side woman. You know, I got him. He's mine long time. And that man could be laying by you all day, every day, baby, but his mind somewhere else. So what you battling? Like, what you trying to
What you holding on for?
What are you holding on for?
Believe it or not, fellas, it's the same thing on the other side. A lot of these women, you can love her, but if she's not showing you, I'm going to say this, showing you. A woman has to show you just as well as you have to show her that you are a man that can protect, provide, and do those things. She has to show you she's worth.
That's it.
You taking that risk and sacrifice for her, and that's the problem. A lot of women don't feel like they have to show anything. I showed up. Like
that's true.
Like that. A lot of women will say when some what I bring to the table, I am the table. Well, I answered that. Well, I'm the place to bring the table at, and I got a recipe for the bread, and I know how to make it from scratch. So I can show you some things.
Now, see that, like Laviesha said, that's gonna take it to a whole nother thing. So now we in this. Let me read these comments first because we are about to take it somewhere. Marsha says sometimes the aggressiveness can come from not knowing how to communicate how we feel, and that's so true.
Exactly.
Communication, and then not only communication. I guess that goes, but you got to be able to accept it, hear it. Don't like you said, be defensive
immediately.
Immediately. You can't even talk because now you're mad.
You are you.
So when could you go to learn how to communicate to the therapist?
Exactly.
My point.
A lot of people just listen to respond. They don't hear what you're saying. They just hear them little points. No.
Yep. They hear something that's not like in agreement with them. They ready to respond. Ain't
They gotta
nothing else you
rebuttal.
said.
They ain't hearing nothing you said.
Reggie Kane said, with on and off relationships, with all the issues you've all spoken on, what if you're going through this in all the relationships you've been in? Do you feel like you're the common denominator? Or are you the problem? I would have to agree.
Yes.
If it was me, I'm the problem.
I'm the problem.
I'm the
If I'm
problem.
hopping from man to man to man to man, and goddamn it, I got to take a look at myself.
Exactly.
I'm the problem.
Exactly.
That would be-
And as a man, if you from woman to woman to woman, yes, you're the problem.
That's
I
it.
mean,
At some point in time, you just gotta say time out.
Time out. What am I doing?
What am I doing wrong?
Let me
'Cause
take a break.
apparently-
Let me see what's going on.
and I feel like
Right.
that's where we're at now. We're at that point where a lot of people need to take that time out, but they're so invested
But let me tell
in the
you
game.
why. No,
I
let me
just
tell you
not
what it
wanna stop.
is. Freema, Laviesha, Angela can't be single. Y'all too pretty to be single. Y'all can't be single. Why can't I need to figure out what Freema loves and Freema loves
That's
herself?
right.
I done been married long enough.
I'm gonna
Let me
keep
be
it a
single.
thousand. I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
Let me be single for a
I'ma
while.
keep it
Before
all
I
the way
damage
1,000.
you. You know what I'm saying?
I've
Like,
been around doing what I do.
Jesus.
Doing what I do.
They wanna
I
be
ran
damaged.
across
They want to be damaged.
I ran
Really? Let me
across
find Freema first.
I ran across many beautiful women.
That's about to be another.
And
story.
what I realized is that a lot of the prettiest women have the deepest issues
Yeah.
Well, I'll see
because
here
they
now.
are pretty. They go through a
Nah,
lot.
I ain't
early.
gonna
See, that's
act
a
like
different. See, that's what I mean when I say everybody has a different come up.
Look how we
Everybody
got
has
the
a
fence.
different
Look how we
upbringing.
got the fence away.
Yeah, everybody
Let me-
because you got a
I
lot of
already done turned this way.
yeah, you got a lot of pretty women that deal with certain things that other people wouldn't understand. Like
Like
if
what?
you're a pretty woman, you had all kind of guys hitting
You
on you
talking-
from the time you became a young woman. You've had all kind of
And the
men.
intentions could have been right. or
Exactly.
could have
Some
been
could have been
wrong.
wrong, but again,
So why do you
made your
find that
choice
most pretty women have the deepest issues?
because they make the wrong choices. A lot of them.
Why can't we learn from it?
They
From
can-
that one choice.
Oh, they can learn.
Going through the single period.
So you saying
That's
it's
a
not-
choice. Learning is a
so
choice.
and feeling like they should be entitled or privileged, or are you just saying that?
And some I've seen some pretty women feel like they just have to just be and they can get any man they want. And then I've seen other pretty women. I've seen other pretty women that feel like I can't trust anybody because the person that I love the most, or the men, or every man in my life has done something in some form or fashion to make me not trust. You know what I'm saying?
That's not just pretty women.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's
We
everybody.
have somebody from the audience.
What is the definition of a pretty woman?
Okay.
All right.
Well, that depends on the man. That is subjective. You know what I mean? When I say, but for me personally, to give my opinion, I think a pretty woman is deeper than. I'm just speaking on physical aspect now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about your mind because as a man, when I meet you, I don't meet your mind. I see what I see first.
Right.
Then as we communicate, I get to know your mind. But just off the eye,
Yeah.
First
when I see a
impressions is
woman-
lot, though.
Exactly.
You get a lot from a first impression.
Exactly.
So you do, in a sense, kind of meet their mind because you seeing where their mind at. Like if you approach a pretty women like these entitled women that you're talking about, and they have this up here attitude, you already met her mind. You met her mindset. You already know where she at and what she want. But because she's that pretty woman, not just you. I'm not saying this is you, but because she's that pretty woman,
They still
men
gonna
got
ride
this
for it.
thing as I gotta get.
Yep.
that.
Now this is a challenge, and it's
Hold
not
on,
gonna work.
time out. No, I can't.
Now it's a challenge, and it's not gonna work.
No.
It's a lie.
That's a lie. That's not men. That's not men. That's certain
Boys?
type of men.
Boys.
That's certain. Yeah, because
boys
it's
or-
men, boys,
It's
and
only-
men.
Thank you.
He said
No, I
Someone from the audience said I saw
Boys
it.
and men,
Men.
same gender, different breed.
They visual.
As a man,
They're visual creatures.
See, as a man
Men are
is
visual
handling
creatures.
things.
They
Yeah,
still want that pretty woman.
exactly. We are vision. But it's certain women. It's certain women. Like again, goes back to what I'm saying. Like not to put it on a specific gender, but it's a lot of the so-called pretty women. Those are the bonnet wearers and the slippers wearers. A lot of the handsome dudes.
I don't
A lot
agree
of
with
those
that.
are the pants sagging. And
I done
pants
talked
down.
about that on the show. That's
Not
not
to me.
acceptable, ladies. I don't care if you're pretty, ugly,
Exactly.
semi, or
Exactly.
sexy. The bonnet and the slippers
Just like
is
the
not
fellas,
acceptable.
it's not
Well,
the
and-
no,
the
hold up. I
pants
We're not doing
sagging and
I
hanging.
have
That's
a
not.
question.
We're not
Why
doing
is it that the bonnet wearing, slipper wearing, pajama wearing women
They go to the school for
the
their
ones in the
kids.
relationships, and us pretty women, as they say, because I'm pretty,
Yeah.
us pretty women single.
Are they really in relationships?
Or they
Or
accept
got
them-
a
or they
man.
accept
Exactly.
a piece of man.
But are they really in
They just got a
relationships?
piece of
Or
man.
are they comfortable?
Listen,
No, not even a piece of man. Because I'm not speaking on gender. I'm speaking because you have handsome dudes with ugly women. You have, so-called.
They
you
got a
got
man living in the house, so that's the one.
Laying down.
That's a situation. That don't mean it's a
Laying down.
relationship.
Say it again, audience.
It's a
Laying
what?
down.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is it really a relationship or is it a comfortable situation?
Well, let me put it like this. They got somebody. You got somebody you can go out with tonight and be like,
well, now I do.
You really got somebody.
We together.
But do you really have somebody?
With my bonnet on. But if we can't do this right here, I ain't got nobody.
But see, this is the thing, though. This is the thing.
That's real.
The reason I say do you
And
really
that's a
have
whole nother
somebody?
conversation.
Because a lot of guys.
A lot of them.
Well, I mean,
yes,
a lot of guys
Let
do
me
be like,
hush.
you know what? You got the bonnet on, and yeah, we're together. But we're together in the dark.
No, they be out.
You gotta
I see
be
them
a
out
day
in
walker.
public.
You know what I'm saying?
I see
With a man?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
fellas got to get you a day walker. You can't walk around. Don't get
What I'm
something
telling you
gotta hide in the dark.
is, I see the women with the bonnets on, with the pajamas on, with the crusty feet,
With the man.
with the man, with the dirty. Ladies, let me tell y'all something. Them dirty slippers, that when I see you out in the street with your pajamas on and your bonnet on, the first thing in my mind is you ain't
wash.
That's
And
just me.
believe it or not, that's how a lot of men look at it.
But they still will sleep with them.
And that's different because men and women
Now
are,
we done
women
took it.
are
Yeah, we
Let
done
me
got off
see.
course. Let's get back.
Greta Frazier Avery said, I want to go back a little.
Yeah, let's go back.
Early in the conversation, it was said you stay in a relationship when the kids are small because they need their parents. Staying in an unhealthy relationship isn't good. So that child who has witnessed an unhealthy relationship now has those traits. They didn't get any counseling to understand how to be a better person. So they carry on those unhealthy habits into adulthood and in relationships. And that's true. And what I don't tolerate right now, because I am speaking on experience, is what happened to you in your past. I'm not accepting it because you should have went to counseling or you should have got some therapy. So you're not using that as a crutch with friends.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to hear it.
If we're together and I'm sure we've been together before the children came. So it's not like these problems came up overnight. So what are you doing
to get over it?
To get through that?
To
And like
be in
I
a
said,
healthy
that's the
relationship.
self-check. If we're arguing to the point to where our child comes in the room and both of us have to stop and okay, that's a sign. You need to go see some help. We need to go see some counseling.
Is that a deal breaker? Is that a conversation you have with someone that y'all are dating? Is that a conversation you have? Say, hey, hypothetically, we're having a disagreement. Kid walk in. How would you handle that situation?
See, that's why I said it's a difference between like if these are our children, we have a duty to do what's best for our family.
I don't care if it's not your child, but
No,
you
but see, you got to care if it's not, because see, that's the thing. Like me, okay, I'm gonna speak for me, and I wouldn't be in your house because I own my own.
Well, I'll be in yours. God darn that.
That's what I'm saying. And if you're in my house, you're not raising your voice in my house. I don't tolerate that. That's what I mean. Because I'm not going to yell at you. I don't.
That's conversation that should be had in the beginning.
That's
exactly. And that's why the on and off, because there were red flags, there were deal breakers, and then when you off, them same red flags are there.
Exactly.
Them same deal breakers are there.
And you got comfortable.
And you going back because of time.
No, it's not always time. It's the comfortability. Like you feel like
time, comfortable, whatever it may be. It's something.
It's lack of self-respect for yourself. It's low self-esteem.
It's fear.
Again, it's the generation.
Now hold on. I don't think
my mama stayed with my daddy when my daddy was whipping my mama behind for 25 years. Like it's just a lot of things that they saw that they feel like we got to continue.
And they were taught that.
Yeah.
So this thing goes way before
us. Marsha says sometimes being pretty is all they got going on for themselves. That's why they stressing. It's more to life than just being pretty. Can pretty cook? Challenge his mind, provide comfort, carry a conversation. And I just said that on Friday night open discussion. You can be pretty and dumb as a doorknob.
Exactly.
But these men going after these pretty ladies don't know nothing about it.
This is one thing I want to say. A lot of women get a
we have a question in the audience.
I want to go back to the bonnet.
Okay.
Now, you said that the bonnet has the men.
I've seen them. I see them on the tape.
But we saw them at the grocery store.
I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
they saw them at the department store, but you didn't see them out.
Exactly.
They're still out.
Listen,
I don't see him. No, my point is, he's with her. So
believe me, it's a difference from me taking you to the store and me taking you out.
She's taking him to the store.
Because I'm out.
She's taking him to the store. How do we know that now?
And that's my point. Why would she deal with a man that she's taking to the store?
Because she's out with that bonnet in the mud.
Because I'm out a lot.
So she has somebody.
See, my thing. See, this is my thing. I don't
And
always
this is
think.
why we need counseling.
I don't always think that the person going back is the one with the low self-esteem. I think the person that keeps allowing them to come back is the one with the low self-esteem. Because if you're, I feel like if you're so comfortable, no, I'm gonna tell you why it's not. Because if you're so comfortable, if I got these red flags that you will leave me, but you're so comfortable to come back, that means that you obviously I'm not that bad. If you want to come back, you keep leaving, but you keep coming back. It's me. You're comfortable, but me, I don't know my worth. If I keep allowing you to come back,
I say that it's both because at some point in time, when you step out there, you done try something else, and you done see that what you went out there and tried ain't gonna accept what's going on over here.
So you come,
come back. So the person that's over here, they holding you to a standard. So you going back, and that person, for me to allow you to come back, both of us got low self-esteem. It's just low self-esteem all up.
Or convenience for the other person that's
that's what I mean. I don't see that as a low self-esteem. You doing something out of convenience and. Like I don't give that.
I mean, it's a lot of things. It's low self-esteem. It's the fact that I feel like I'm trying to prove a point to somebody. Like I can keep this man. I can get this man. I'm doing it for the kids. It's not just low self-esteem. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of reasons why people do it. They do it just for people.
And that's selfish.
Just to see.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna just be real with you. A lot of people just feel like they got to have somebody.
Like, understand this.
Sex play a major part.
Yeah, I feel like this is the thing. Independent. The word independent is a great thing when you're on your own.
Okay, so this is gonna be another show because
we're gonna have a part two.
It all ties in. It all ties in because a lot of people, when you're single and alone, independent is great because you know how to handle yourself in the world as an adult. But once you're with somebody, that independent thing goes out the window. That's why when you have a job, you fill out for your dependents. You depend on someone. They depend on you. When we get in these situations and it's still all about me and it's still all about it'll never work. It'll never work.
I have a question then. Why is it that independent women are looked down on so much? By our black men.
First of all,
it's not that we look down on it. It's just that we don't care about these things the way you want us to care about
some of these men.
Like as a man,
I got a house. Like, listen, when you say I got a house, I got a house.
Exactly.
But where we going? Where the middle come in?
There is no middle. See, this is the thing. There is no middle. I'm going to lead my family.
I'm non-biased, but I'm going to answer.
I
want to answer this, but I'm going to be non-biased. So what I think it is, and you got to think about this thing. Our men of color, they've been raised to say, I'm the man of the house. That's all they know. Whether they daddy there or they hear their
uncle. You gotta be doing what you gotta do.
Let me finish. I'm the man of the house. So they automatically assume that respect should be there for the woman. And I say to women, I got to be realistic because I'm non-biased about this.
Wait, when you say that respect is there for the woman,
the man assums that the respect should
automatically be there.
Automatically come from the woman.
Automatically.
But I say that
I say that strong-minded, independent black woman be the most singlest women out here.
Exactly. And that's what she just said.
I'm getting ready to
answer. I was telling her why because
y'all so strong-headed.
Exactly. No, it's because some of
if you will put your career, put it like this.
Let me answer the question. I just want to answer the question.
We don't want.
I'm gonna answer the question for the audience member, and I'm gonna answer this question for Authur because, like I said, my answer is gonna be non-biased. What it is though, with the man, they assume that they're automatically have the rightful place to say, "I'm the man. I deserve respect." Okay.
All right.
The woman says, okay, I'm the woman. I put my pants on like you. I work like you. I pay bills like you. Why is it you can go to work and come home and worry about you? But I got to go to work, come home, do laundry, cook, help kids with homework, do whatever else. And then I still got to say, I got to be, I'm tired, exhausted.
Let me say this real quick because I know where you're going with it. I ask a man because I feel like at that moment I felt equal. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, so what makes this man more superior than me? Why are we not equal if we're doing the same goddamn thing? He said, because I'm a man.
No, the minute.
That's why
not the. See, that was the arrogant way of answering. But the reason, I'm gonna tell you, the minute harm comes your way.
Can I finish the question? I'm gonna answer this question because it's non-biased.
Let her finish.
It is very non-biased. What I'm getting ready to say. What it is though with the people of color, we do not know our place, and I'm gonna tell you why. The man want to be the woman sometime when he want to.
Hello.
The woman want to be the man when she should.
Because we have to.
And she shouldn't. But guess what? If the man be the man when he need to at all times, you're not just the man
I will
because
take
you
that
put your pants on. You the man that helps with the kids. You the man that could cook, clean, do laundry. The woman can do the same thing. We would respect you a whole lot more to say, you know what, I can do what you do. You can do what I do. I feel like that's a great team.
It is.
But when a man comes in entitled or a woman comes in entitled, that's where the problem comes.
So let's Authur, real quick. Let's role play. Okay, me and you married. You know, I come home. We both work. Whatever. I come home. I cook. I help the kids with homework. You know, I clean. Whatever. Tonight I say, Authur, I'm getting home late. You know, or what have you. Just want to let you know that. As a man, what are you gonna do in that household?
To me, as a man, what am I?
And what are you gonna do?
What would you think you should do?
I'm gonna make sure food is done.
That's right.
Make sure
You're gonna assume that.
But hold on. At the same time, see, this is the difference, though. This is the difference.
They're gonna wait and be hungry.
Like a lot of women see from their perspective, but when I'm out there cutting the grass, when I'm out there changing the time, when I'm out there doing mechanical work, we have a role that y'all might not pay attention to.
But listen, check this out, Author. There are women like us, the three of us up here, we willing to learn it or know how to do it.
But let me finish it, though. Let me finish.
Or have to do it.
Let me finish.
Or have done it.
It's good to know when you're
I
saying.
don't want to do it no more. I want to play.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
So that's why I say know the place. That goes back to what I was saying, accepting your place.
What I was going to say is this. You gotta, that all comes down to the beginning. Now, okay, that's why what we're bringing to the table is so important. Because when I look at life, now this is where the realism comes in. When I look at my life as a young black man, never been to jail, clean record, I own my crib, I'm partner in the company. When I look at what I bring to the table, when a woman deals with me instantly, I put her life in a different situation. Whatever rent she was paying, that stops.
Right.
Whatever bill she had, a lot of that stops. So I instantly put her in a position to save money. Now I put her in a position to do it, especially if she's coming with kids and all kind of other things.
That ain't for everybody.
Let me finish. I'm looking at it like this. If we are together, if my decision making in life has me to the point where I can help you out of your bad decisions in life, what makes you think you can come in here and I need to get on your page?
But what
No, you need to get on my page.
What if I'm not in a bad position in life and me and you coming in as an equal? My bank account just as big as your bank account. My house paid for. I got my own car. I got my own business. I'm my own CEO. But I'm a humble woman now.
Now, guess what?
And see, let me tell you what you just said. When you said I put her in this position and I did this and I'm gonna do that. What position, what mindset are you giving that woman? So at that point, what is your expectation of that woman?
No, the mindset that I'm giving her is that I'm a provider and a protector.
But what is
that
she takes that? That's what I'm saying.
What is your expectations from her at that point?
See, this is what women don't understand. If you come in with you got your own this, you're gonna understand something. A boss don't want to come home to another boss, and that's what a lot of women.
Oh, we're gonna have to have a part two because I understand that.
I heard a man say,
understand that. That is
A boss don't want to come home to another boss. If we're going to be the boss,
we're going to have a part two. I'm going to get with everybody and we're going to come up with a date and we're going to have a part two. We're going to start off with that.
The question was, what is the expectation? Okay, so
my expectation of her is to know.
To know what?
To know how to handle. She's a woman. I'm a man.
It goes back to what I said.
I know my role. I know what I'm supposed to do.
You missed what I said
so
about 10 minutes ago. I said the man automatically assumed an entitlement. But what I was trying to say, I was non-biased. I'm not saying the woman should know her place and the man should know his place. I feel like they should compromise, cooperate, communicate.
Exactly.
You can't just have the mindset saying she should know. Because think about this. If you got that mindset, she in her mind, he should know. And guess what's gonna happen? They're on and off because you thinking the man way is right, and she thinking her way right.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I come in I can't come in this situation saying
you just need to feel needed.
This is what I'm saying.
I can't
come into
that's real.
That too, yes. But
as a man, that's it. Not you, but in general.
I can't come into
so then you date down.
See, I can't come into men, we date down, women date up. You don't want a man that every woman wants a man that's at least on her level or better. So when you go out here, hold on.
Do we have a up? We don't. Do we have a up? I think
so now you're saying there's no good black men.
I ain't never said was no good black men.
But
I
they
said, do we have a us?
Yes, y'all do have a
And
us.
hold up, this is a whole nother conversation. This is a whole nother conversation because I have spoken to several men. Let me break it down to you. I was at my uncle's house one day, and my uncle said, "You are a beautiful woman. You have a lot going for yourself. Why are you single?" And I said, "I don't know any good. You know any good men?" I said, "Set me up with somebody." My uncle is deep in the church, and he said, "There's a lot of good men out there." I said, "Well, set me up." And it was him and my cousin. I said, "Well, set me up with somebody." He thought about it. He said, "You know what? I can't think of none." I've had this conversation with several men.
But not to make it personal.
Several men, and a lot of them have said the same thing. You know what? It really ain't. Men have changed because a lot of them, they got this low expectation. They don't want to work. They want to come in.
I disagree.
They find women out there who are.
See, a lot of
Are
times,
you gonna say yes or no?
So I'm gonna say this right here. Let us say I know you. They say if I like you, I might be attracted to you, or you might be attracted to me. But you might know my baby mama, or you might know something. And you be like, oh damn, I can't really go there.
That's girl code.
Yeah.
Guy code.
But I mean,
You didn't miss out on the
community.
You didn't miss out on the good one. That's girl code.
But I feel like a lot of people,
Small
sometimes it's not all about, like, when, not to make it personal, but a lot of times when
You
women say,
You might
where are
miss
the
out on
good
the good
men,
one. Really
it's not that it's no good men,
That's
but
true.
maybe the good men are not for you.
That's so small.
Because this, and I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. Okay, I've heard when no woman that's okay. Every woman wants a man that at least is on her level or better.
Absolutely.
So when you get out here, hold on. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Majority.
I
I'm not
take
speaking
a
for the.
worker.
I'm speaking for the majority.
I can take a
I'm
working
speaking for the
man.
majority.
I know how your home is
Don't
ran.
do that.
I
You
can-
don't
I'm
know. Let me finish my statement. What I'm saying is,
I can take a working man.
what
Every
I'm-
man is not going to be up to my standards. I can take a man that can do. He might not make the money that I make, but
And that's what I'm-
we're
As long as he
still-
content
And see,
with himself.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Content with
A lot
himself.
of women don't want that man that's content. Majority of women, a lot of women want a man that's at least on their level or better. And the thing is, when you start going against when you put the relationship on the back burner, when you put that man on the back burner for your career and your job and boss up, okay, once you start making this certain amount of money, in a lot of situations, now a lot of the things that you were good with him, once you get to a certain level, you want better now.
No,
He's
let me
not
tell
good
you
enough
why.
anymore.
And I'm assuming, let me tell you why, because now these men are going to feel some type of way about themselves because my woman is most bossed up than me. So it's an internal thing with them men because a lot of women, and Laviesha just said it, she don't mind if he makes a little less than her. But that's where it comes to a personal thing with a man that can't handle it.
See, a man, honestly, a man don't have a problem with a woman.
Man.
The problem is when you think your money put you on some position where you can disrespect me as a man.
Authur, but you may not. You probably don't have
It's
these
all
problems.
respect. It's all respect.
You probably don't, but realistically, it's some men out here. They are fighting to compete.
See, a lot of
with their woman.
See, a lot of y'all, but this is the thing.
They don't realize they're fighting,
don't
and it
have
goes
to.
back to the topic of the conversation. Why therapy is important, and why some things you should let go. Because you're fighting a losing battle.
Exactly. Ladies, I'm gonna say this to the ladies: if you are in a relationship and you feel like your man is trying to compete with you, you don't need to be there. That's not a man. Like a man, because honestly, we really don't care.
We have a question.
Real quick, and I heard that question.
You don't care about your money.
I'm gonna read what the viewer said real quick, and then I'm gonna address Angela because I think you asked it to her. Marsha said, "Look at the man with the lady with the bonnet. His standards is not as high.
Right.
A real man knows that his woman represent him.
Exactly.
He should not tolerate that, and she should know better. Self-respect. Wear values. My grandma will kick my ass."
Exactly.
Greta said, "Wow." Reggie Kane said, "I want a boss." Marsha also said, number one, a lot of men are intimidated. And I've heard that several times. And dudes that tell me that has never even met me a day in my life. They go off social media.
Right.
Two, regardless if you are independent, you have to respect the individual in their role. But the key is he worthy? One, I am a boss, but he is the boss because he has earned that role.
That's
that he deserved for me to submit.
That's
Look,
right.
I let him run. Why? Because he makes sure I want or need for nothing. And I love that. And I agree with Marsha 100%. I'm ready to submit.
And that's what I'm saying. That's
why
what I'm
we
saying.
can't boss up together? If I'm a boss, why we can't boss up together? You could be working on your own business and helping me build my business, and I could be helping you build your
See,
business.
that's not the problem. When I say the boss, it ain't about the money. I'm talking about the mentality.
But I'm saying,
like right now, I can't come into a relationship with a woman. I can't come into like right now. I can't come into a relationship. We just met and we're attracted to each other. We're starting to get. I can't come into the relationship saying, well, you know what? I'll be a real man for the right woman. No, I gotta be a man.
No, you gotta
all
already
the time.
be that. You
I
gotta
hear
already.
so many women saying, well, the right man will get submission. The right man will get this. The right man will get this side of me. But as a man, I can't be like, well, the right woman to get a man. No, I'm a man all the time.
You should be.
And a woman should be a.
You know how many men say what you just said? I'll be the
right man for the right man.
You know how many men say that?
Again, I'm gonna say this one more time. Boys and men, same breed, different, same gender, different breed.
We had a question from the audience.
Oh yeah,
Angelia. He said, "How many times have you went back?"
Well, I've been back and forth with you. Does that answer your question?
I went back a lot.
And why did I know mine right on 4 or 5?
I mean, like I didn't count because I feel like that's not important. I just feel like I'm at a point in time in my life.
Wait a minute, I done missed something. You said what was not important?
The
number of times.
It's not important. I just feel like where I'm at right now in life, as a person, it's time to love on me.
Absolutely.
And that's being really, whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm married or I'm single, it doesn't matter. I still need to love me so I can share that love with somebody else.
And before we go, I do want to say one thing. I don't want to put it all the way out here like going back is just a problem. Like sometimes some people do need to go back. It depends on the person. It depends. Every situation.
Have you ever went back?
He said he took
you did. You did say that.
Yeah.
No, have you
to the audience member? How many times did you
went back?
No.
How many times have you went back, sir?
I've never went back.
You never went back?
I've never went back.
Never went back.
So we just take y'all back.
Nah, I've never went back. I've never went back. But hold on, this is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing.
Nah, we ain't
like
asked
you broke
no
up and I'm
questions.
trying to get back with her, but this is the thing though. This is the thing. This is the thing. There are certain women. There are certain women that I've dealt with that I would go back. Like
why
for
won't
instance,
you? Is it your pride?
No, it's because she's not there.
Oh,
you understand what I'm saying?
I got you. I see what you're
like
saying.
She's not there.
So you honest about it. If certain one you could go back.
Yeah, like going back is not like again. I said a lot of people can't see the change in somebody else when they ain't made a change in themselves. Like the person, like one female in particular that I would have go back to. When I was with her, I was young. I wasn't.
So now you're a man up.
I'm a man now. So now I can look at. But again, it's not on her to sit around and wait on me. So that's over. But now I move more strategic, more wiser. I'm dating.
It sounds like Let's Sip and Talk with Freeman need to do a dating show for Authur. He seems like he's a great catch. So stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
Don't try to catch me. You don't want no problem. Don't try to catch me.
I was about to say, sound like somebody got off the heart. And they might not. So Authur.
Oh yeah, I got a 16-year-old son with Authur. That boy got all my heart.
No,
I got a mama that's a great woman. My sister, my
like that
niece.
lady that he would go back to.
Yeah, she still.
Because you done man up and you ready.
There are some women
but being realistic
like
as
me
a
and
woman.
my son's mother, we're like I'm gonna say it like we're not together. We've been separated forever, but
you go back
she's somebody that's if I'm gonna make sacrifices in the world and things like that,
You would do
I
for
would
her.
have made it for her. But again, she's not there. She's not at that point. You know what I'm
He'll
saying?
leave that new woman for.
So this is why we talk about the back and forth right here.
Yeah.
This is exactly why we go to the back and forth, because one person feel like I don't have enough. I hadn't found myself. So now they feel like they're ready.
I'm going back.
And they're going back and they find themselves for 2 months. Not saying you, but they be like, you know what? Ain't no need. They ain't worth my change. So that's why I said maybe everybody ain't for everybody.
Exactly. But some people are for some people.
Yeah, some people
it's
are
an individual.
Some people are cut from the same cloth. Some people are equally yoked. You have to know who you equally yoked with. People use the Bible for they want to use it for, but technically you have to meet somebody on the same page, on the same wavelength.
And that's
that's a true statement.
If anybody that changes, that's the thing.
I
that's
ain't
why I said earlier.
change.
But no,
I
this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. That goes back to what I said earlier. If a person does change their ways or does, that change has to be for them. I don't want, if you're my lady, I don't want you to make any changes for me. I want you to make change. Like,
so self.
Like a lot, like me personally, I don't eat pork. Everybody that knows me know how I don't do pork, none of that. So the women that I've dealt with, even when we separate, they still to this day don't eat pork. Not because I'm not even with them no more. It's years later, but they don't do. Why? Because they made the change for them. I showed them something. They saw what was right. They made the change. I don't need you to change for me. If you got to change for me, you ain't for me.
Some things need to be changed, though. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you got to
change
adjust a little
it for
thing.
you. You got to change. You got to make those changes for. Like if I'm in the house, like me as a man, if I'm in the house with you, and there's certain things that I see that I do that it makes you do certain things.
So you put the policy down for you. You doing that for you. No, you adjusting for me. Because I don't like you to keep the toilet seat.
I'm actually adjusting for me because I don't want you to be unhappy.
Right.
I want peace.
Okay.
Like me personally, I keep the toilet seat up, but if I know that bothers you, I want peace. So
you changing for me to keep the peace. Okay.
No, I'm changing for me.
He's talking about he's not changing for you. He's compromising.
You don't always have to change. There's compromise.
It's still not happy.
Well, some people just
not
not
happy
be
with
happy.
themselves. It
Some
goes
of them
back
just
to
not
what
gonna be
Laviesha
happy.
said before.
And that's
it's
nagging
about
decisions.
self, and that's why we need a therapist.
Generational.
Some
We
women
need
can be hell.
it's
I'm
a learned
telling you.
behavior.
Exactly. We
Like,
gotta learn to deal with self.
We have to unlearn some of these behaviors.
I'm telling y'all women, like some of y'all are nags and it drives me crazy. And I'm just being honest.
I read, well, I don't read a lot. I kind of like observe a lot of things.
You glance at it a little bit.
And I stay on TikTok. I have TikTok hours. But one thing that I saw a therapist say is that sometimes a lot of people have not grown from where they were hurt at.
Exactly.
I'm about to be 45, but if somebody hurt me at 12, 45, thank you.
Hey.
You thought I was younger than that? Thank you. So anyway, a lot of people, like if I got hurt at 12, that's where my mind is.
That's
I'm 45 in age, but I'm still stuck.
Because you have dealt with that hurt
when I got hurt.
That's right. That's a true statement.
That's what, again, a lot of fights that you're fighting is not your fight. They're fighting their selves. They're fighting their demons. They're fighting their past. They're fighting those generational curses. And until they recognize that and they heal from 12 years old, it's going to always be a problem.
Right.
I'm gonna say one more thing. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to the fellas.
We
I'm
got
gonna say
like
this
3
to the fellas.
shows with you.
I'm gonna say this to the fellas, and a lot of fellas probably gonna get upset.
No, you.
But a lot of men gonna understand what I'm saying. A lot of men gonna understand what I'm saying, and I'm sure a lot of grown men will agree. I'm gonna say this to fellas. We gotta start caring about each other. Like really, we gotta stop all this sleeping with other men's wives and sleeping with other men's women. Like at some point, we have to step up and say, "You're married, and now I'm not gonna do that because you need to settle that with him."
It need to be both parties.
A lot of men got. That's why I said women can speak for women, but I'm speaking to the men. A lot of men,
we couldn't do it if they would allow it.
A lot of men, we get into this simp mode. A lot of men get into that simp mode where it's like. You meet her, she's looking for a new sponsor, and you just happen to be the guy. So now she's with you, and she's telling you. I see a big red flag when I'm talking to a female, and I'm asking her about her last relationship, and everything is wrong with him.
Right, nothing's wrong with him.
She ain't said nothing about her. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Because that lets me know she's looking for a new sponsor, and she on this new job, she's showing you the best her.
Yeah, best.
But I'm going to see her event. I'm going to see the real her eventually. So as men, we got to start.
I feel that's pertinent information.
We got to really start caring about
real quick. Marsha said there's always room for change, but it should be to a place where you're losing yourself if it's change for the better to make the relationship stronger. That's what a compromise come in at. I think I might have read it. Not losing yourself. Yeah. She also said there's always room for change. There should never be where you should try to change to please somebody else or lose yourself. Change is good when it's for the both, and it's better when it's compromised.
That's
absolutely.
Right. Well, some things. I mean, there's going to be change because let's say, for instance, love language. My love language might not be your love.
What's your love language, Laviesha?
See, that's the conversation.
Really, mine is time.
But it doesn't take a lot for me. I need
time.
I need time.
Words of affirmation.
Those are my biggest ones. So a lot of times, you're going to change or you're going to compromise because you might not like touching and feeling, but I need some touching and feeling. When I come home from a long day and
I'm so not affectionate.
Like, don't be
self-aware.
pushing me off you because I'm gonna be mad. We got problems, and then what's eventually gonna happen is I'm gonna stop doing it, and I'm just gonna go to my side of the bed, and then that's gonna bring a problem.
Let's say this real quick, and I'm glad Laviesha brought it up. A lot of people don't do the 5 love languages. That's something good to do in a relationship, so you can see how the other person wants to be loved.
Exactly.
You know, so that's something good to do.
See, my thing is that's why we should be having conversations before we even get to these
Hello.
before we get to cuddling and
Hello.
having kids and doing all this stuff. We should be having these
That should be
conversations.
talked about over dinner that men don't like to take you to.
Someone in the audience asked, "What were the 5 love languages?" That is a legitimate question.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
What are the 5 love
It is a test that you take, and based upon your answers to the questions, it tell you how you like to be loved.
I know 4 of them.
Communication,
Gifts.
Words of affirmation, gifts, and it's
Time. Hello.
time. That's the 5th.
Yeah.
We got it.
So
That's-
it's like that's
how
your
you
love
like to
language,
be
how
loved.
you express
Right.
How you
your
express
love.
it.
But if the person don't, and sometimes
And how you expect it.
yeah. And
Mhm.
again, I saw another quote that said a person could be loving you with everything they have,
Oh.
but they might not be loving you enough to what
And
your
speaking your
expectation
language.
is.
That's
Your
so true.
expectation is, but they
Your
loving you
language.
the best that they know how. But
Oh.
it's
Now the
just-
compromise
But then is
comes
it
in.
settling? Am I now
But you-
settling because you're giving me what you got? This is
are.
what you
got,
got.
but
No,
So
it's
now
not.
it's
No, it's
settling.
not settling. What it
What it
is,
is,
it's
Arthur?
compromise.
Oh,
It's
with it.
compromise.
But
It's
also, that's
compromise.
why we in this on and off, because
I love time.
you speak one language, your woman speak
No,
another.
that's
be
not
home
why
doing
we
nothing
on and
all
off.
day
We
long.
on and off because you wouldn't stay.
But let
You
me-
wanted to leave.
But listen to what I'm saying. When it get down to the get down, and I gotta get to the nitty gritty.
Mhm.
You speak one love language, and they speak another. When you come back together, y'all both are speaking foreign languages.
No.
And you back off again because that person is loving you the way
That
they know
goes to
how.
what Laviesha said.
And she's
Some people like affection.
The
You know,
only-
some people, and then, okay, Laviesha loves affection. I'm not an affectionate person. So Laviesha come hugging on me, and I'm like, go ahead. I've been working all day. I'm tired.
Right.
And now she's feeling some type of way. It ain't even no animosity. It's just like, that's just not who I am.
So my thing is this.
Well, Arthur, what's your love language? Don't make
You
it.
have to take the test.
My thing is this before.
He
No, my love
knows.
language is time.
See?
Okay,
he
Time
knows.
and touch. Time and touch.
I like time too.
Time and touch.
What
Yeah, time and touch. That's my love language. My thing is this. If how could I not know your love language? Like you said, if my love language is this and your love language is that, and we get together and we speak a foreign language. Let me ask you a question.
I'm not saying-
No, what I'm saying is this. How can I not
Listen,
know your
I'm
love
gonna say
language and you
something
not
real
know
quick.
mine?
Because
If we don't communicate,
You're right.
communication is the key.
Having
Or take
multiple
time
women is
to
a rich
pay
man's
Like
sport.
if she said she loves the cuddle and that type of thing. If when we first meet, I'm gonna, as a man, that's what I want to know. Now if you're not asking the questions you need to know
Right.
to be in a relationship, but I'm serious
I'm
about
asking.
mine.
I
So
dog
I'm
it's an
asking,
interview
what do
process.
you like? What's going on?
But you gotta be an understanding person, because sometimes if you tell somebody I like cuddle and I like time, and then their perception of it is, oh, you needy. So
That's what I'm saying.
Nah.
But even if you tell them your love language and they
That's
still,
why we keep talking.
some people may, like Laviesha said, they maybe love you with all they can because they're still dealing with this emotional stuff from childhood. Their mama didn't give them hugs. Their daddy didn't give them hugs. It wasn't loved on. But my love language is touch, and no one never did that for them.
Now, this is the thing. If you don't feel like I'm reciprocating that love language, you should not be in that
But
relationship.
in the beginning,
Leave. But my thing is
the
this:
honeymoon
once you leave,
period now.
once you leave,
But if
That's
I
what
express
it's
don't
that,
turn around and
That's
come
something
back
been talked
because
about.
But
that's
if
what
I
I'm saying.
But if I express that to you,
That's
then
the
I should
topic.
Why you
automatically
can't come
never
back?
leave.
Because once I'm gone. Like I'm not
Okay.
gonna leave.
But
Marsha
if I
said,
express that to you, does that make me needy or aggravated? Like if I say
I'm not
touch,
single.
and you be like, what's your response?
My response is it's like that whole response is different because it's how you coming to me telling me guys. How are you coming? You understand what I'm saying? Talk to me about these things. When you come talk to me about your love language, see that's the thing.
That's
Femininity
communication.
is a different thing. Like understand something. A feminine woman, when you're feminine talking to me a certain way, You can tell me anything.
Oh, you melted.
You can tell me anything. Femininity.
Yeah, that's
We like
I'm your
words.
baby. Talk to me.
We
Talk to me
don't
nice.
we
Make
don't
sure.
care about your language.
Okay,
Talk
real quick,
nice.
y'all, real quick. From the
Don't
viewers.
talk about the dude.
Marsha said that's why people should date and get to know them before they jump into a relationship. But
Exactly.
people do not date anymore. Absolutely. She also said in a relationship, y'all need to learn each other's love language.
Exactly.
If y'all don't take the time out to learn each other, it'll never be right.
That's
Marsha,
right.
you on point today, honey girl. Greta said, so do you think a person's love language can and will change during their lifetime? Yes, it does change. I took my test maybe years ago. You get what I'm saying? I have not taken an updated one. This probably was
You can
like,
read a book though. I read a book for mine.
I took the test and I might do it tonight. But it can change. Things can change as you grow. So maybe I don't like time no more, but I do. I know I like time.
I mean, you can read the book, you can take the test, but
Experience
reading the
It's a
book
lot of
gives you
questions, though.
examples of so you can kind of
I think it does
decipher
change,
which
Greta.
role you fall into, and then also give you a chance about your mate. as
Cause
well.
in the beginning, I thought I liked gifts. Before I started taking the test, I'm like, I know I'm gonna be a gifter. And that was not it. I like time.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, time is the most important thing to me. Like to me.
That's why my marriage failed. Just put that out there.
You know what?
Whatever you start, you gotta
Brooklyn,
finish
y'all
it.
have some
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta finish it.
If once we make that commitment, okay, we're gonna be together, whether we're married. Once we say that we're
So
gonna
now
be
you
together,
saying you about to be in a toxic
once
situation,
we're
no
being
matter
together,
what.
that's not there.
You say once we make that
Once,
commitment.
once we, what I'm saying is, once we make that commitment, before we even make that commitment, we should have that conversation
That's
so
a
it
mature-
wouldn't be no
but it's
toxicness
a
going on.
mature adults.
Exactly.
Yeah, now we get that.
So
but
we should be conversating
but guess
before
what?
we talk
Guess-
about relationships. All of this
But-
should be out the way. It shouldn't be a toxic relationship.
you gotta
if
make
we
sure
did
we
the-
talking to mature adults.
That's
So
my point.
that's the thing
That's
because,
my point.
because in the beginning, again, everybody is not showing them true selves. So
They bring their
in the beginning,
representatives.
you're doing what I want you to do
That's right. To get me.
to get me.
That's it.
But once you get comfortable with me, then those things stop.
Yep.
And that's where the problem comes in. So
Mhm.
we communicated about it in the beginning,
Yep.
That's right.
but you only did it because I told you.
But don't get it
Exactly.
twisted.
I'm not
It's
gonna tell
it's
you.
two
I
parts
can't
to
tell you
communication.
everything.
It's two parts to communication. It's the
Well,
verbal and then the action.
The number.
Can
You
I
can
say
say what
this?
you want to say, but
Can I
once
say
I
this?
see
So-
you're not your
And
action.
every woman might agree with this. The minute you open your mouth
Say too much.
and you say too much, you tell them what you expect and what you want and what you've been through. Not saying all men, but they go and feed off of this, and they show you just what
They
they-
become the
the
person.
person that you talk about that
It's
you
not
don't
who they
want.
really are.
They become the
That's
But you know
opposite.
why?
But let me finish though. So sometimes, not saying in a bad thing. I'm telling you this as a man. Sometimes you may not want to communicate everything as well because sometimes a woman will fall into that role too.
Exactly.
So you got to leave some things, like see what they do.
But see, this is what I mean when I talk about dating with intention and being
You
intentional.
can date with
Again,
intention, but
hold
you
on.
can't tell
This is what I'm
everything.
saying. I'm serious about mine. I'm telling you
I think I
everything.
got someone for
Now,
you.
either you're going to tell
I'm
me,
a boss.
But that's-
either you
that's a-
tell me
That's
what's
a true
going on.
statement.
If you choose, look, I'm giving you what's up because I'm serious.
Well-
Now, if you're playing games and showing me a false view, that's going to fall back on
And
you.
you're correct, but what
Karma
I'm
is real.
you're correct, but guess what? You're saying that because you know you don't want karma to come at you. You're putting your best representation and you being honest. Not saying everybody's dishonest. However, you got people that are like honing in, like, oh, I'm gonna be this person because this is what this person wants to hear,
Okay.
and not realizing like that change is temporary. You cannot. That is not who you
Stop
are.
falling in
So
love with
then
people
that-
y'all ain't
It
even
don't
met.
even matter
That
because
that
I'm going
old
to.
stuff
they
show
do
up.
that.
It don't matter. You know
They
why?
research people
Because
online
I'm
and
going to
stuff.
see
It go
your.
both ways
I'm
for
going to
man
see
and
your
woman.
actions.
My actions can be good for 5 years,
It,
and in the 6th year, I can't do it no more.
Yeah, you
you
do that.
know what? You know what? No, I
can't
disagree
do it
with
no
that.
more.
You do
I'm gonna
that
tell you
before
something.
that-
Ego is a very arrogant thing, bro.
Mm.
People can't hide the real them.
Mm.
Now, when
We
people
talking
gonna
about ego.
people gonna show
We
you
talking
the
about
no.
if you pursuing me off. I'm gonna use me and using this example,
Okay.
and you
I'm
sit
agree.
here and I'm telling you, oh, you know, this is what- and you do these things right, and then you tell me what you want. I just fit right in. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sit quiet. I might not like to do that, but I'm gonna do it because Arthur got a house. He's a
Mhm.
great
You gonna
one.
get that
He
meal
want-
for that first
He
year.
want me. He want me to
That
talk to
is
him sweet,
But
and
this
I'm gonna
is-
talk to him sweet. I'll be baby this and baby that and
This
all
is-
this stuff. I tell you everything you want to hear.
She already said.
So the minute Look, the
Energy
minute.
real.
Listen,
I can feel it.
the energy.
I can feel you a front. I can tell.
But check this out, Authur. I could very well be genuine that moment in time because I feel like I need change. He's different from me.
She
This
wanna
is
submit.
good for me. I want to do it. And then 2 years later, I
I can't
do
do this no more.
That's true.
I wanted to submit, but not with him. I did it because I wanted to submit.
That's
I tried it.
Yeah, but you know something?
Because they forced themselves to do
I'ma
it.
tell you
They
something
might have
I
done it,
I'm gonna tell you
but
something
they
I've
just
learned.
weren't ready for change.
I'm gonna tell you
No,
something
they
I've
was
learned.
ready.
This
They
is-
just wasn't. They
this is
didn't
the
want
realest-
that person. They just did it because he was capable of being the man
I'ma
they
say this, and
wanted.
this
They
might
just
be the
weren't-
realest
they weren't ready
statement I
for the
made.
real change.
This might be the realest statement I made the whole show.
We're gonna end it here, people.
When
Go
we
ahead.
when we talking about people changing, again, a lot of people don't want you. Energy is real and karma is real. I can feel.
So what energy
Nobody
you feeling
turns
up here,
into
Authur?
a fool. Nobody turns into a jack. Nobody turns into that overnight.
Yeah.
The signs are always there.
Red flag.
But are you looking at the signs, or are you choosing to ignore those signs because you're comfortable that he has a house, he has this, he has that?
They're
I want to
choosing
be
to
there.
ignore.
See, you're like I said, that goes back to you. I'm being real up front. Now,
Everything
if
is
you
not
choose the front,
about
that's
comfortable,
on you.
being comfortable. Some people just desperate.
They do whatever they
That's
got to
comfortable.
do.
You're desperate for
to-
something
to
for that
get
comfort.
that.
You're
That's not-
desperate for
And
that.
that's
That's
why
not
we in the on and
necessarily
off
comfortable.
relationship right now.
Yeah.
Because everybody's intentions going in are not true.
And that's my point.
They're not real.
They're not real.
They're not real. You may feel like you won't change right now. Yeah, I can't do it no more. And it could be you wanted that, but when you got to the point, you're like, you know what? Maybe I can't do this. Like I still want to do these things, and you force yourself to do. You force yourself
Yeah.
prematurely. You might know that I do need to change,
Mhm.
but you force yourself too
You're not ready to.
prematurely.
And like you said,
and
2
you're not
years
ready.
later, 2 years later, you like, I don't want this.
You're
now,
not
now,
ready.
now, this is my thing with that.
And that's why we on and off.
This is my
right
thing.
there.
No, that's not.
That's
why we
one
on
of the reasons.
No, I'm gonna break this down.
So
to
there
you.
ain't no reason to
When
be
you
on
said,
and off.
like you said, 2 years later, you don't want it no more. I'm the type of guy like this with everything. That is cool. The problem is when you decide to come back.
But you can't
I'm
put
not
yourself
coming
in
back
every
to you.
scenario.
When you left me, I'm not coming back to you.
But everybody don't think like you.
But what I'm trying to say is anybody. This could be.
You're not gonna leave the person.
Oh, I'm not. If I leave, I'm gone.
Okay.
If I leave, I'm done.
You've
When I
been saying
leave,
that for a long
when
time.
I
Like,
leave,
I don't
it's a
leave,
wrap.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
bust you in the top of
because
your
if
head
I'm
with a
if I'm
brick,
here,
and you better not leave.
this is my thing. if we listen, before I even start spending money, this is what a lot of women. I'm gonna give y'all some game right now. I'm gonna give you some game. Women, ladies, listen.
Look,
Before you start
Before a
spending money,
man-
what?
Before real men that actually get out, I ain't talking about the trap boys, and I'm talking about real men that get out here and work for their money. Before I spend a dime on you, I'm going. It's certain things I'm going to find out. It's certain things
So
I'm
you
going to
investigating
talk to. Of course.
Ooh,
What am
love
I
it.
doing?
I love it.
What are we doing? Like, I need to know who you
That's
are.
what I'm
You need to
saying.
know
So how long is this investigational process?
Who's paying when we go
Oh,
You
yeah.
pursued me. You pursued
I'm
me.
paying. That's the whole point.
But how long?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But believe me, before I take you out,
So we're
anywhere,
gonna talk about. We're gonna be on the phone.
exactly. I'm gonna talk to you before I take you out. I'm not gonna meet you and take you out. No, I'm gonna meet you, talk to you, and if you might
How
not
long
be
you gonna
worth you
talk?
taking
Take
out.
take it from a woman. So wait, women out here.
I understand.
That's what we're trying to
Believe
say.
me, that's
It's
my point.
facts.
This is what I'm saying. If you're fake, that's cool.
But you gonna
once you
read
leave,
that vibe.
once you leave, it's the coming back. That's the problem.
But you
So
already.
that's why we don't get dates, lady, because they're filling us out. They're doing research. They're investigating us.
Exactly.
spending a
How many
know.
guys done took women out and
And
I
won't
mean you
spend
done
no
took her
money.
out 4-5 times and you ain't I mean she's
See,
half the time she's on her phone. She's
Oh,
not
no,
paying
that's
attention,
not
she's
respect
doing
right there. I
everything,
don't be on my phone. Because
I mean,
let's be real.
and
I
not to
went
mention-
out on a date.
And not to mention, let's keep
In
it
the
real.
second date, I paid
And let's
because he
keep
paid
it
the
real.
first time. So
A
I
lot
had to
of-
reciprocate
But
the
I'm
energy.
gonna keep it real. A lot of these women are not going out with one guy at a time.
well, Authur, that's another show.
Well, that's
dating
another thing.
multiple
We're gonna have to.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
that
to. We're gonna have to do a part two.
That's a big part of the coming.
We're definitely gonna do a part two, you guys. We enjoyed this conversation. It was a much needed conversation. I appreciate everyone that chimed in, and engaged in our conversation. I appreciate audience members. And don't forget, we are at Brooklyn Restaurant and Lounge, 1575 1575 Russell Street. Every Sunday, doors open at 3 p.m. We're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you guys, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're doing something for St. Patrick's Day on Friday on Russell Street. So will Brooklyn be open early? We shall see. We should be open. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all come out on, that's March the 12th. Downtown Russell Street will be open to the community for St. Patrick's Day, and then y'all head on to Brooklyn. I think it starts at 6 o'clock. So again, as we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Freema, peace and love.